Hi there, my name is Sandy Esprit, and I am, oh, gosh, start again. Hi there, my name is Sandy Esprit, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to be giving you my tips, my counsel, advice, opinion, thoughts on homeschooling. I don't know what else to call it. I don't consider myself an expert on the whole idea of homeschooling. I am still, after all, I'm only homeschooling my firstborn, and that actually was kind of like by accident. But yeah, so this is the video. If you are thinking about homeschooling, you are a mama here in Ontario or anywhere really, stick around, because that's I'm gonna share with you my experience with homeschooling and how I do it here at my house. Yeah. Okay. So, all right. First things first, I'm just gonna share with you that I am a stay-at-home mom, full-time content creator, and I homeschool my 4-year-old daughter. She is currently doing grade 1 work, and we're actually about to transition into doing grade 2 work. And what I mean is mainly reading, writing, and mathematics. I was gonna say reading, writing, and arithmetics, but math for the most part. I don't consider myself, an expert on homeschooling, but I do find that my experience might help someone. So therefore, that's the reason why I'm sharing it with you. So background, I was one of those kids. I went to the public school. I went to a public school throughout my whole academic life. And I've been through like over 11 different schools in Montreal, Quebec, Ottawa, Ontario, Orlando, Florida, and Port St. Lucie. Well, I lived in Port St. Lucie, but my high school was in Fort Pierce. And then back to Ottawa, Ontario. So I feel like I've been quite around when it comes to public school. I feel like, yeah, I've had some experiences in the public school system, and for the most part, I had a great experience. Ma'am, it is not your time to talk. If you hear the baby in the background, she's just here for moral support, and I gotta get these vlogs out and recorded, so that's why we're doing this with some background soundtracks from my baby girl. She is not being homeschooled though. Not currently, she's only 6 months. So yeah, I've gone through about like more than 11 different public schools, and my last school that I can honestly say I started and ended was like university. So, and that was not public school, that was money, and I gotta love them student loans. But I digress. Back to homeschooling. So I always knew that I wanted to have a hands-on approach when it came to my children's education, because even though I had a great experience with public school overall, there were still some things that I felt was lacking in terms of the best way to introduce certain subject matters, or even the way our teachers are heavily taxed with work and under-resourced, underpaid, and just overly worked. And you can tell when it comes to the delivery of, the work. And with the pandemic, honestly, to the teachers that have taught during the pandemic, hats off to you. Honestly, I am, like I said, I homeschool, and I'm not doing this because I don't trust our teachers. Ma'am, I'm trying to give the teachers their due. Let me give them their flowers. So yes, to all of the teachers out there, your work does not go unnoticed. I know you don't hear it enough, and I'm pretty sure you don't hear it enough from the homeschooling mamas, but listen, from one person, from this mama to all of you guys is over there doing your jobs, hats off to you. You guys are awesome. You guys are literal superheroes. I don't know how you've been able to do this for so long, and I really hope you get your due money wise. Like, yeah, you guys need to get paid, but that's a different, that's a completely different subject. I'm going back to what I'm here to say. So I really just wanted to have a hands-on approach when it came to the schooling of my child and the education that is being provided for her. especially when there is an ever constant changing of curriculums, and you just don't know. As a mom, I was aware that at times you just don't know what kind of teacher you're gonna get. I mean, I had one teacher who severely impacted my life for good, and then I had another teacher who severely actually several teachers who severely impacted my view on systemic racism. So if we want to talk about microaggression, the first place I learned it was in the classroom, not from another student, but from a teacher. So I know firsthand that not all teachers are good. Most teachers are amazing, but there's always a few bad seeds, a few bad apples in there. And I did not want to subject my daughter to that kind of scrutiny or have anybody make her feel less than. And I know I'm not the only one with that kind of story or with that kind of experience where, you know, a teacher has made them feel this small, or a teacher made such a positive and wonderful impact in their lives that they just wanted to share knowledge and educate this next generation. So for me, I knew I would never end up going to teachers college, but I mean, I've been told so many times that I was a good teacher. I was like, well, you know, let me try it. I did tutor. I loved it. So I thought, why not? Why can't I do that for my kid, you know? Exactly. I don't know what she said, but I'm sure she was agreeing with me. So I decided to homeschool her, and it started off, honestly, I went with it day by day because I honestly was afraid that I wasn't good enough to do it, that I did not have the expertise, that I did not have the schooling or this. Man, you're... Okay. We're going to take a moment, I guess, to hear what you got to say. Okay, so I was really afraid that I would not be able to do right by her. And I did my research. I contacted a friend of mine who happens to be a school teacher in the public system. And honestly, hats off to her, because she was the main one who actually encouraged me and said, listen, you can do this. And if you can go ahead and teach your child at home, do so, because it's getting rough out here. I did not say it, she did, okay? And she's a teacher, okay? Don't come for me in the comments. But I was like, okay, bet. Like, if a teacher can be like, listen, if you can do it, go ahead and do it. And I discussed it with my husband, and we were kind of on the same page in terms of we really wanted to be the main ones to instruct her and educate her, not just on social living or how to be a kid at home, but just being able to teach her. And the girl was a sponge. I mean, by the time she was 3, she was already reading. So I mean, it just made sense. But I was still kind of hesitant, and then the pandemic happened and everything was moving over to virtual learning. So I figured, you know what, let's just go ahead. She's already learning. She's doing all those educational forms on all those educational games on my phone with the app. She was already tracing letters. So I was like, let's go ahead, stick a pencil in her hand and see what she can do. So first things first, I would say to anybody who's thinking about homeschooling their children is please make sure you research the curriculum that your province or your state or your country, I'm not sure how it works in terms of how the government deals with education in your area living. I'm sorry, my kid is just going ham back there and I'm just trying to keep up and give you guys this information. But first things first, I would say definitely do your research. Here in Ontario, it's pretty lax. I mean, if you want to, you can send a letter to the government saying, hey, I'm going to be homeschooling my kid this year and I won't be sending her off to school. But definitely do your research. You don't have to do that here in Ontario. I know certain places you do have to send off a letter saying, I'm not going to be putting my kid in school. I'm going to keep him at home and homeschool them. But do your research to make sure what the homeschooling laws are in the area where you live. Because if you do have a child, they are, I believe it is mandated by law, like you actually have to, it's illegal to keep them from going to school once they are enrolled. So just figure out what the laws are in your area and abide by them. You don't need to have CPS involved in your home. So next thing I would say is also go online and figure out what the curriculum is for your child based on their grade. And you can figure out like what the grading system is according to their age group. So I will link, if you are in Ontario, I will link that, I'll put that link in the caption below so that you are aware, okay, this is what they're doing for that age in that group. And that way, if you so choose to put your child in public school in the future, they are not lagging behind. And that's one thing that I see a lot coming up in when I check out other homeschooling videos, whether it be on TikTok or on any other social media platform, is that a lot of people, some teachers actually complain that some of these kids end up lagging behind because they're missing certain fundamentals when it comes to what they need to, like, in order to stay on par with children of their age group. So by all means, take a peek, look at that curriculum and see what is that child learning in that age group, because it's not all, because it's not just all about reading, writing, and counting numbers. There is actually more to it. I mean, there's science involved to it. Can your kid actually, like, say, you're saying your kid can read grade 12 reading level, but they don't even know what the plant cycle is at the basic level? Like, it's great that your kid can read. That's awesome. But they also have to be able to understand material. So you definitely want to know what the what the curriculum is. You don't want your kid lagging behind, because once it's time for them to go off, either into post-secondary education, or if they decide to go for a trade, whatever they want to do, you want them to be prepared, okay? Just because they're at home and you're schooling them doesn't mean that your role as a mother distinguishes. There's still a whole lot of research you need to do. So that's what I did. Also, you as a parent need to be mentally prepared to be their teacher. You're no longer just mommy or daddy. I don't know who's doing the homeschooling, but you're no longer you're not just a parent now. Now you are a teacher. That means you're going to need to be patient. You might need to have that cup of coffee. Take those deep breaths. Make sure you can regulate those emotions, because no one will test you like your kid will. No one will put triggers and punch those trigger buttons like your baby, your precious genius of a child will. I mean, and the end result, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, like, for me, the end result that I love is when my kid is able to have a conversation with somebody else and just ask really weird, insightful questions like, do ponies have a sense of smell? I don't think I've heard a 4-year-old say that. I'm sure there are. I'm not trying to say my baby's a genius, but my baby's a genius to be asking if ponies have a sense of smell. I'm just saying. So, yes, for sure, you want to be mentally prepared, because you as a teacher are now going to fill a role that you have never filled before, and that is that of a teacher. I can be mom, but being teacher, that's a whole different section, because that requires patience, and sometimes something that seems so, we forget that, like, this is hard for them. What's easy for us is hard for them. We have tricks that we have developed over years and years and years of training, like counting with our fingers, counting by 2, counting by 4. All those things are really hard to master. So take advantage of those YouTube videos, those YouTube educational videos. I cannot stress them enough. They are amazing. Some of my favorite ones are Dr. Binocs. He has great science-filled videos. He's entertaining. I love Dr. Binocs. Another one that I love is if we're talking about preschool, kindergartens, don't hit me up with Coco Melon or Blippi. Don't. Can't stand them. However, no hate on Coco Melon. I'm not hating on Coco Melon. I just don't. If you want music that you can stand to listen to, by all means, go check out Gracie's Corner, Jules TV, the Toonies. Love them. Okay, absolutely love them. There's also the Busy Beaver. There is one, the Singing Walrus is another one that I love. I have so many suggestions, but those are great. Super Why, oh my gosh, if you love TV shows that are educational, that will have your kid reading at a preschool level, Super Why, check out Super Why. Karina Waldron actually was the one who got me on Super Why, and that was the best thing I could have done for my kid. And it teaches them how to recognize sight words, rhyming words, phonics, even phonics words, another one too. So yes, I will put the link down below for those ones. But love them, absolutely love them. They are awesome tools to use as you are teaching your kid how to read, write, and about science and about life. And of course you want to keep it fun. I have the Backyardigans on so that they learn how to play. My daughter loves Cookies to World C. There's so much out there, but for sure when it comes to reading, writing, and mathematics, those are the ones that, or even in science, those are the ones that I go for, because the music is great. And I actually vibe to the music. So yeah. Another thing, so yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. Now, on to the workbooks, because I know for so many of us, flashcards, I keep hearing about flashcards. Flashcards are great. If you know how to use them and you love and you can work with them, these are the flashcards that I use. I have used the Scholastics sight words and numbers 0 to 100, and they are flashcards that will have it just helps them to read, and it helps them to learn how to read, and you can make games out of them. So you have I, he, and I love the fact that, like, oh, this way. So on one side there is I, and then there's the other side, and there is a they. And if you have the time, you can actually use flashcards to create sentences with them. And these are the sight word flashcards. I will put a link on where you can get them. I got these off, what I got them off? Either Walmart or Amazon. I get almost everything off of Walmart or Amazon. And of course, colors, they are colored, so it's really easy to read. And I actually love this one because they even have the greater than, less than, and equal sign to, so you can create games with them as well. Where is it? And they actually have little instructions on how to use these flashcards so that you're not completely lost. So yeah, 0 to 100, they are double-sided. Those are the Scholastic ones. Other flashcards that I have used in helping my kid read, write, and all that good stuff is from the Canadian Curriculum Press. I love Canadian Curriculum Press. I think their things are great. Their products are awesome, and they are Canadian. Awesome. And what I love about these ones is that these flashcards actually come with a so you have, it helps with the rhyming words to learn how to rhyme. On one side here, you have all these words that end in app. And you can create app words with the letter. So we have B, B, app, BAP. And it's either in lowercase or uppercase letters. So if you so choose to use these flashcards for the alphabet, you can. And if you're learning how to create rhyming words, or you're teaching rhyming words, it's great as well. You don't have to just use it for that. There are so many different ways you can use those flashcards, and it comes with a little instructional card in them. That way you know what you're doing. And that one, I believe I got it off of Walmart, but you can also get it off of Amazon. Again, link will be below. And if you are learning your kid French, this is the this is from what? This is Carte Éclair tout. I don't know what's going on with her upstairs. Are you okay? Okay, so this is Toute ma maternelle, and it has the alphabets. And so you have the alphabet here, and it's flashcards, but in French, B, and pour baleine, and on the other side, you have the baleine and the word written right here. So these are Édition Caractère. You can get them. I got these at Walmart. You can get them online. So flashcards, for all my flashcards people out there, I tried using them. It wasn't really working for me. So I do use them on occasions, but this is not exactly my go-to for the most part. Workbooks, on the other hand, are. because I know that I won't be able to homeschool them for their entire school career. At some point, I'm pretty sure I will put them in school. So I tried to ease into it. So the first thing I did was actually I bought these workbooks off of Amazon, and these are from Modern Kid Press, and I love them. I absolutely love how they are so flashy. They're so cute. It's straight to the point, and it's really, really simple. I had the preschool math, I had the alphabets, and the number tracing just to start it off and to see whether or not they could, she'd be able to handle it. And yeah, it's fun. It has a place for them to color and they trace, and it's just very interactive. And yeah, that's what we started off with. And it actually says the age for which it's for the child to be appropriate. So here it says ages 3+. And for the preschool math, it actually states here, and that was age 2 to 4. And of course, the ages are just a guideline. You don't necessarily have to go with that. But that was what we started off with. The Modern Kid Press. Highly, highly recommend them. Next, and then once we were able to do that, we moved on and started doing kindergarten math. And I went based off the age group. So if she could do stuff from 2 to 4, then I moved on ages 5 to 7. And of course, that's kindergarten math. Boom, 5 to 7. And that's one of the things I love with Modern Kid Press, is that they really provide an age group so that you're in the range. And still very, very, very fun, very interactive, with lots of space to read and write. So this was the reading one, and then there is the kindergarten math. And the kindergarten math I really like too, because it provides them space where they would be able to see the number, color the number, and then we can move on. So then we can go ahead and move on. Once they get to 20, we can color and count. And that's what we did. We did a whole lot of coloring and counting. At some point they asked, was there more, fewer, less? And so a lot of these were really, really, really cool. I love the fact that then it starts to introduce addition, subtraction. We have some manipulatives, which is how to manipulate numbers. We're decomposing numbers, so understanding how the numbers work, telling time, counting money, and more. The only thing I would say about this is American based. At some point when we're learning about money, you can see here, Abe Lincoln is on here. We don't have Abe Lincoln on our money. So it was kind of interesting to be able to teach my daughter money and starting off with American coins. Being in Canada, I mean, it'd be like that sometimes. And then afterwards, I got an addition book in which she received her first ever math award. I was actually very proud to give it to her. Yes, yes. So this is pretty cool. One thing I love about this book is that it allows for some cutting and pasting. It allowed for some cutting and pasting. And so, like I said, all of these books, I actually have like so much books that she's completed. It's not even funny, but Modern Kid Press for sure is one of my favorites that I used in the beginning. And then I went ahead, moving on with the Canadian Curriculum Press. They have a book for reading, writing, and math as well. So I really like them for the fact that they cover the 3 major points of, school, which is reading, writing, and math. And this workbook, these workbooks actually can be used in conjunction with the schoolwork. But I mean, why would you I don't foresee kids wanting to do work after they come from school, but during the summertime, I mean, it's great. So it's up to you. But yeah, so Canadian curriculum is really, really great. If you want them to practice writing, this was actually my daughter's science book when we did our grade 1 science. Ooh. Okay, so Modern Kid Press. What else? Let me get myself situated. Okay, so once we started doing grade 1 work, having to I just didn't want my girl to be like behind. So I got the Complete Canadian Curriculum Grade 1, and that is from Popular Book Company. It is a Canadian based company. I absolutely love this book. It really helped me create a standard of what my daughter should be learning in grade 1, because we had done all the kindergarten stuff. And I really love that it's color coded as well. I don't know if you can tell, but there you have your blue, your orange, your pink, your green, and light green, and there's an answer key. So you don't need to feel like a genius to actually homeschool your kid. Most of these workbooks will have an answer key in them.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but I really love this book. It kind of set up the precedence for everything.
That book too.
Yeah, it was great. And then we have an interactive notebook science that I bought. This one is American based. So for that, what I had to do, there was a lot of photocopying. So my daughter was able to create her own little science book.
Yes, I was.
So there's tons of stuff in there.
There was tons of stuff up there.
So yeah, okay, put that back. And what else? Another one too is oh yeah, I loved. So because like remember I was saying like how we were introduced to American money. Well, this kind of helped with time and Canadian money.
I like that book because it helps me when I go so good because I haven't done that.
You were supposed to stay quiet, and right now you're not quiet.
Sorry.
You're interrupting me.
Sorry.
Okay, so this was really great because it allowed. What I really liked about this book here from the Canadian Curriculum Press is that a lot of the stuff that you will teach a child, they might retain it for that moment, but they won't retain it forever. And so being able to buy a book that specializes and focuses on the child's weakness really helps to reinforce things. And I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, my kid knows like absolutely everything that was taught to her, but she has the understanding of what a coin is. So when we do go out to the store, she knows what a coin is. This book here, I know I'm probably going to have to revisit because at some point we're learning about time. So we learned about time, how to add and subtract time. And I mean, that's not easy. Those are concepts that are very, very hard. You know, you go from learning 1 + 1 is 2, and then all of a sudden you have to learn, okay, what's half an hour plus half an hour, and to know that that's a whole hour. So that's why I really loved that the Canadian Curriculum Press came out with this. Another company that I think is great if you're looking for books to, oh, yeah, again, the Popular Book Company from Canada, and that is the Canadian Curriculum English Smart. Those are really fun. I love the way that this looks, and so for sure, again, if you're looking for workbooks, okay, Amazon is your go-to. I'm gonna link down below which books, which companies are best suited for Canadians, because they actually are written by educators and Canadian educators to ensure that what they are learning in the classroom is being also taught at home. And again, you don't need to feel like a genius because the answer key is in the back of the book. And then of course, what else? Is there anything else I'm missing? Oh. So, Canadian Curriculum Teaching. Okay, so another company also before I forget is the Chalkboard Publishing Inc. And this was a Canadian character education activities. And I really liked this book because it was kind of like a social studies, but an inward work. And it just really, all the activities in there just really helps the child focus on themselves. There's not much reading or writing. It's not like basic schoolwork. It's more like work where they get to see themselves, and it teaches and it emphasizes on respect, loyalty, and responsibility, and you know, just being kind and fair and respectful. So I really, really did enjoy this book as well.
I enjoyed that book as well, too.
Okay, so yeah, so that's pretty much a breakdown of all the books. I did not mean to talk about all these books for so long, but yeah, that's for sure what I would say. You don't need a fancy setup to homeschool your child. I mean, you really don't. All they really need is your attention, and you just need to be intentional in terms of what you want to see come out of your child. So for me, it was really important that my kid not just memorized material, but I really wanted them to understand the material and to be able to explain it, and be able to explain it in their own words so that we can actually talk about it if there's anything going on. And I wanted them to be safe, to be able to learn in a safe environment. And I just really feel like nobody knows your kid like you do. You know, like, I feel like I nobody knows my kid like the way I do. And so for me, that was very important that, well, not just for me, but my husband and I, we just felt like it was very important that they would be able to learn, and we would be able to gauge how fast they're learning, and we would be best suited to take extra time if necessary. And if they were fast tracking, by all means, we'd be able to provide the space for them to just grow and to learn and to thrive, no matter their age. Like, there is no such thing as being too young to learn, right? Or too old to learn, for that matter. And so currently we're finishing up our grade 1, and we're actually moving towards grade 2. Now, being the overly cautious mom that I am, I bought these off of the Canadian Curriculum Press, and that's a Super Summer Learning book, and it goes from grade 1 to 2. It just makes the transition of going from one grade to another much, much easier. And so I will put the link down below. I'm currently working on having an Amazon affiliate links, so by all means, if you click the links below and you buy something, you're not paying any more money. You're still paying what you would pay otherwise. It's just that, you'd be helping the sister out, and I'd be able to get a few coins here and there. So by all means, feel free to click the link down below and support your girl. And I hope that this was informative as well as educational and slightly entertaining. I hope the background noises did not bother you too much. But yes, take advantage of the library. Library is also a great resource. Take advantage of those YouTube educational TV shows and those, cool bomb music that they got going on for these kids nowadays. Take advantage of those. They help a lot. And especially with helping your kid understand how things work, and as well as just be involved. Be there, be involved, answer their question. And if you don't know, Google it. Google is free. You don't need to be a rocket scientist, and you don't need to know have the answers to everything to be able to homeschool your child. Again, they just need you to be you, and learn together, grow together, and have fun. Have fun. If it's not working, one of the best things that I love about homeschooling is that if it's not working today, we take a break. Let's just take a break. We'll do it again tomorrow. We'll start it up tomorrow, because we create the schedule. We can slow down. We can fast forward. There are many days my daughter's like, I want to do 2 to 3 pages, and I'm just like, all right, go for it. Other times I have to be like, okay, slow down. Because you're most likely gonna get burnt out. Like, you're not gonna want to do this for sitting down for too long. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like she can sit still in one area for like ever. But by all means, have fun, go at your own pace, and learn together. This is a journey, and it's an adventure, and it's great, and it's fun, and there is nothing more satisfying than seeing your kid accurately provide information that you taught them. There is nothing like it. And so, yeah, that's it from me. That's my tips. And so if you enjoyed it, by all means, click like, subscribe, subscribe to the channel, follow, comment down below. If you have any questions for me, by all means, put them in the comment section. I will answer them. I answer every comment every single time. And share with anyone. Share with your friends, your family, your aunties, your uncles. Yeah, just share the video, and let's keep this going. And I will see you guys in the next video. Ciao for now.